Good evening, everybody. This is Batman333, and you are here live. We are here live, and we're going to do a little special series. I don't normally do game reviews on things, unless it's, something that's like sort of just to introduce a new game and to kind of show off gameplay mechanics and, talk about it. And it's usually fighting games that I stream on this channel, but today we're going to be doing a special sort of like deep dive playthrough pseudo review on what is the Sandfall, I think is the name, Sandfall Interactive. It's a French company that developed a turn-based RPG game, sort of in the same vein of like old school Final Fantasy VII slash, it's got elements of Persona. I mean, kind of. But it's a game that's unique on its own right. It's borrows some elements of some traditional turn-based RPGs, particularly like the Japanese style type of games, and this company has created a pretty phenomenal role-playing game. Not only in the gameplay is this game unique, but it's in the storytelling itself. There's a lot of very cool, deep thought motifs in this game, and everything like that. So we're going to kind of talk about it as we're playing through. The name of the game, first off, is, as you can see here, it's Clair Obscur Expedition33. And it was a game that wasn't really on my radar. I've heard of it, and I think I've even seen maybe a little brief, clip of it or something when it was announced. But I didn't know anything about this game until, it started to catch some buzz. And
I kind of think this game is like a sleeper hit, you know. There's still people out there who've never even heard of the game, let alone, you know, have tried it. So that's kind of why I wanted to do a little, you know, give this game a little spotlight, because I think it's something that if you like these types of games, you should play it. If you don't like these types of games, you should definitely watch like a friend play it. So that's sort of like my sort of you know, idea behind this is to kind of put these videos out and give viewers out there a chance to kind of experience the game along with me. I've already gone through about 9 hours of the game, but for the sake of this series, what I plan to do is play about a good 3 hours of the game each session, and you know, turn this into like a series. And the objective is to try to get this game finished within 33 hours of gameplay time. So not straight, but you know, we're going to try to go through about 3 hours each session and see if we can get towards the end of the game. I mean, if we don't make that goal, that's fine. But I just wanted to keep keep in theme with the 33, you know, of the story, because it's pretty significant. For those of you who don't know this game, again, it's a role-playing game, turn-based, which basically means, you know, the actions as you go into combat is that, you know, you get a turn and the enemies get a turn, and based on, you know, your statistics and sort of like how you encounter a battle, you know, the two opposing sides will take turns, you know, dishing out their attacks and stuff. But what makes this unique is that, you know, defensively, as the computer is taking their turn or the enemies are taking their turn, you have the ability to dodge and parry and jump the attacks, you know, even though it's turn-based. And there's a specific kind of timing you gotta have to, you know, to counter these attacks and stuff. And we'll get into the gameplay stuff, you know, as we go through. But that's one thing that separates this from many of the other types of games out there, because, you know, it's a lot of times these turn-based games are just like, you know, it's your turn, you go through your menus and you make your selections and your attacks and magic and whatever, and you just watch it play out. As where this is something that's a little more interactive, you know, you've got to time the defensive parries and the jumps and all that, and the you know, during any of the opponent's attacks and stuff. So I think that's pretty fun. But the thing that drew me to this game is mainly the story. You know, without giving too much of it away, it's definitely a story about, you know, sort of like mortality is sort of like the underlying theme of this game in its story. And so, you know, we'll take a look at it. I won't explain too much of it until we get started. I mean, I don't know everything about this game, but I do know enough from the few hours that I have put into it already to sort of, you know, guide through, but we'll learn through the story as we, you know, play through. So without further ado, just would like for you guys to sit back and enjoy, and you know, let me know your comments and thoughts about it, you know. Oh, and please be warned that this is going to be very spoiler heavy, because you know, we're literally going to be playing through the entire game. I may even try to find any of the secrets and things like that if I come across them. You know, I know enough to kind of just get through the beginning stages of the game, but the later half of the game, you know, where you start to kind of customize your characters to, you know, this isn't a strategy guide per se. This is just me playing the game for the first time, learning the mechanics, and then, you know, whatever I find coming along without looking it up and things like that, I'll introduce into the game. There are 3 modes in the game, from my understanding. There's story, which is just basically like the lowest level you could play. It's just challenging enough to get you through the game, and you'll get the gist of the story, so the enemies probably won't be as tough to kill and things like that. You know, if you just want to knock it out and play through the game, I should technically play that, but I want to challenge myself a little bit, so I'm going to play on the normal mode. So let's see here, we'll get started. We'll start at a slot here, and so Expeditioner is that second level, and then the next one would be Expert, and I think that's sort of like the final, mode, and then story. But I think supposedly, like after you beat it, I think they give you like a game plus mode where you can kind of go through, maybe with your characters all leveled up or something, and you can find the things that you missed during your first gameplay, so that you can kind of experiment and things like that. There's no like classes per se in this game. It's just the characters and their unique abilities, and you just modify elements of that character and their equipment to enhance the stuff that they're able to do. But none of the characters have any kind of like similar templates at all. Each character that's in here that you interact and play with are used completely differently and independent from the other characters in your party. I think you can have a maximum of 3 people at a time, but as you gain more characters, you can swap out, the specific character that you want to use and things like that. Alright, so yeah, we're going to start on Expeditioner, and then we're going to leave the tutorials on, because then this will help for anybody that sort of watches a few of the videos and wants to kind of get into it and wants to see like how things work. I'll explain things as I'm playing, but for the most part, they do a pretty good job of teaching you how to do, aspects of the game, and I'll try to leave things up long enough for you guys to take a look at it. So, alright, I think we've gotten everything. We're going to keep the language in English and audio in English, although you can put it in French. That's another thing. This is a French-based company, and from my understanding, this is actually their first game that they've developed. So right out the box, they've developed this monster hit, and I think that this game is probably going to be contender Game of the Year. It's too early to say, but I think that this definitely will be in the list, and most likely will win some awards, because I think they did a good job with the storytelling and the visuals and everything. And that's what kind of gravitated me towards the game, is the look and feel and the design and the emotion into it. I haven't really been this moved by a game since stuff like The Last of Us, the first Last of Us game, and playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time, back when it was released on PlayStation 1. It's just one of those things. It's definitely a total experience, and I think that anybody that, doesn't like these types of games should try, and give this game a shot. It's got some difficulty, like Elden Ring, but it's challenging, but it's like not so punishing that, you're just playing it for forever, trying to get past like little parts here and there. So I'm just trying to see what else I wanted to adjust before I play here. Yeah, let's see. I had to just kind of get started then. So if you happen to join the chat, just shout out any questions, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. And let's go ahead and get started into the game. The music in this game is phenomenal. So here we have our first main character, who, strangely enough, has a very to Robert Pattinson, but it's definitely not Robert Pattinson. But it is voiced by someone that is familiar. It's voiced by Charlie Cox, the same guy that plays Daredevil on the Netflix / Disney show as Matt Murdock. So
You should probably do it before.
And this is our second character here,
Or Sophie.
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve.
Maelle. And she's voiced by Jennifer English, who was the same voice actress in the Baldur's Gate 3 game. She was Shadowheart.
Putting up 3 tables? They'll manage.
Yeah, totally looks like Robert Pattinson.
Enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
Have you tried throwing with your other arm instead? If you could hit the Paintress directly, that would actually be useful.
You know, hobbies don't always have to be useful.
Hopefully the volume's
Enjoying the
okay.
uselessness of today.
I may turn
Readying
the
my
sound up a little
usefulness
bit
for
more on
And soon, I'll get to do a lot more than throw rocks.
probably on the game.
That's what all the other expeditions said.
Hey, you know they gave their lives to lay the trail for us, right?
Yeah, I know. So,
Yeah.
you still got a flower to give, no?
Yes. Just... I'm not sure how to start. After 4 years apart, what do I say to her on the day of her Gommage?
You're asking me. I don't know. Sounds
So
about
being that
sex.
this is
Direct. Hey, Sophie, been a
you know,
while.
developed up by this French team, you know, obviously there's a lot of French references from the music to the character names to the locations to the buildings. I mean, the aesthetics of all of it is just heavily influenced by French culture. And that includes like a lot of the fine art, music, and you know, and things like that. And you'll kind of see that expressed throughout the game. Here we have our main character here. And before we interact with anything, we'll just kind of just take in this landscape, man. Like, this is so amazing. Like, we haven't even taken one step, and already, like, you know, the view of this land, Lumiere or whatever, is very beautiful. You know, you can just take a look at just the environment and tell, like you know, it's already telling you a story. You know what I mean? So off in the distance there, we see a number 34 and that little arc of light above it. And that is the common thing about this game. So without getting too much into it, you're sort of in a world, and that's the thing. That's the thing I'm still trying to figure out, because I haven't really read much up on the lore of the game. I've only experienced what I've played so far. What's cool about this game is that it's not like a beat for beat, like it tells you what's going on. You sort of experience it, and you have to interact with things in the environment and characters and things to kind of get more of the story. I mean, I know a lot of games do that, but this game does not give you very much exposition. You're gonna be playing through kind of lost in the beginning, but then as you do certain things, you'll get a gist of what's going on, and then as you unlock things and discover things, you start to piece the story, you know, together for yourself. Right now we're heading into town, and we're going to meet up with another sort of like character. I'll say it's a major character because of, you know, what you're going to see here. But let's take a look here. I'm just trying to turn up the sound on my end. Okay. So right now we've picked up a flower, and that's all we know. We got a rose. We're dressed up. He's looking a little snazzy. with this little French get
All
up,
right, let's go.
and we're
I'll
gonna
accompany you
follow this young
there. Are
lady
you
to
ready
town.
to see her again?
Yeah. Been ready.
So as far as the controls are concerned, you know, you got your left and right analog sticks, you know, camera movement, right analog stick. I mean, it's like you can just, it's like you don't even want to play through the game. You just want to stay and look at things, you know, for a while. But, you know, that's the movement. Then there's jumping. That's going to be done with, like, your... I'm playing on PlayStation 5, so I'm going to notate the buttons based off the PlayStation 5. But it's X to jump. And then you can hold the right trigger for running. And, you know, you can also do... Can't do any of the attacks yet because it's just, you know, part of the story. So, but so far you can jump and run. And I do have this on quality mode. I just wanted to keep all the lighting and shadow effects intact. It does have a performance mode, and it does look good, but I like playing it in quality mode. Okay, so one of the gameplay mechanics here, you kind of see this guy's got like a bum arm there. It's got like a mechanical arm. Is that they use these abilities, and this guy is sort of like an inventor, and he has taken sort of like, you know, sort of like whatever the... I don't know if it's supernatural or scientific, but he's taken like the abilities and found a way to harvest it and put them into like mechanical devices and tools. So that's what you're going to be seeing here. He's going to be basically making like a grappling hook there. You know, and this is just a tutorial. This part of the game is just a tutorial on just how to kind of do the movement. So
Come on, Gustave, speed up a bit.
down there is where
Sophie
we're trying
will
to...
have already gommaged by the time you've arrived.
Yeah, we're trying to get down there. And so, yeah, they mention the word gommage. Without giving too much away, it's obviously a French word. I know what it means, but I think I want to wait till I get to that part to explain it. But well, yeah, let's wait till we get down there, because then I'll explain sort of like the general sort of hook of this story.
Can't believe Sophie already turned 33. She looks so much younger than you.
Thanks.
She's popular. I'm sure she already has a necklace full of flowers.
I can imagine.
Man, look at that. Oh, cool. I think I see... Oh no, that's just another area, but... Yeah, I guess that is the area where we're going to be meeting this character, Sophie, so... Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, she's going to be right down here somewhere. Alright, so this next section is just going to get us into teaching you how to play the game. I mean, I know how to play already, but I'll go through it, because like I said, this is sort of like a playthrough with the intention of kind of explaining like how the game works, and then kind of giving my overall thoughts and final verdict of the game once I complete it.
What?
You look tense. I know what you need. A little jewel.
No.
Come on, it'll loosen you up. You can't go and see Sophie all somber and tense. And if you win, I'll give you something you can use with your Luma Converter.
Alright, you're on.
So Lumina, that's sort of like the... I don't know if it's a resource or an energy source or whatever it is, but that's what, you know, is used to kind of power
Yes.
the sort of abilities and things that you do in this game. And that's another thing with this game is, like, you know, they give these a lot of French influence. You know, she's got the like French outfit on here. You know, like kind of like what a mime would wear, stuff like that. But not only is it just in the look and the design and the words and stuff like that, but like some of the things that are named in here are French words like Lumina, and you know, and they kind of coincide with going to the deeper theme of art in this game, and you'll kind of gradually see that as we play through. Alright, so this is a typical battle here. You know, you've got a battle wheel. When it's your character's turn, you'll kind of see a screen like that. You know, L2 is going to be basically you have a, you know, sort of a gun. Basically, every character gets to use this like gun, and you can use that to kind of start attacks and things like that. The way that the game works is that you've got attack points, much like Final Fantasy VII had a very similar AP points. You know, same kind of thing. So basically, it's just the number of attacks you can essentially do, or each time you do an attack, it's gonna deplete from your attack points. So one attack point could be just like shooting the gun, but say doing a magic spell could be like you could use up 2 or 3 or 4 attack points. And then once you exhaust those attack points, you have just a standard attack that you can do that doesn't cost anything. It's just the last thing you can do on your turn. But you basically have to try to strategically use your attack points within a turn of each character to try to do as much damage as you can to the enemy before you run out of the points. You don't have to use all the points. You can skip your turn, or you can, you know, do you can do a move that doesn't use as many attack points, so that when it comes back to your turn, you can replenish them by doing activities like blocking and dodging and, you know, and stuff like that. Because you essentially want to build up your attack points so that you can do some of the more damaging things in the game. Right there, it just kind of explains, you know, the timeline. Characters are going to play turn by turn. The turn order is indicated by the timeline on the left. So on the left side, that's just letting you know what the order of the turns are going to be, so that you can kind of prepare your attacks. So, you know, he's going to go first, she's going to go second, you know. And just like other turn-based games, you know, if you sneak up on an enemy or do like a behind, you know, sneak up on them behind their back, you'll get the first attack if you know, trigger the battle. Alright, so each time you attack them, you gain 1 attack point, but there are other ways of gaining like additional attack points, and that's going to be something you'll see later down the road as you level up your characters and learn more skills and things like that. Alright, now if you look to the right, let's take a look at a few things here. We got like deal more damage with Overcharge, charge Gustave's arm by dealing damage, dodging, and parrying. So as you do those things throughout the battle, you'll add points to that overcharge, and once you fill it up to the max, there are special attacks that you can do where you'll use that overcharge to do, like, you know, a more damaging attack to the enemy. Now underneath that is going to be your picture of your character. It also gives you the indication on how many attack points you have, which is in the blue. So we have 4 attack points to start, and then 150 is your health, so that's your hit points, and then your overcharge number will be indicated there. If you look at the battle wheel just above where it shows items, you see 4, so that's letting you know where your attack points are there too as well. And then you got items. You know, unlike other types of games, you do get items, but they're not in the same vein of like gathering potions, all and just like 30 stocks of potions and things like that. That's one thing I do like about this game. The inventory management isn't very cumbersome. It's very simple, but it's got complexity to it. Like it's easy to understand, but you can get pretty granular with certain things to make your character kind of attack and defend themselves a little bit better. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get one attack in. Right now, because it's a tutorial, that's the first thing we can only do, but normally when you start a battle, you can start to aim with the gun, and then also you can do a skill if you wanted to, or use up an item if you have some item you want to use. But go ahead, attack. You have to select targets. If there's multiple targets, you would just use the left or right stick or digital pad to cycle through the enemies, and we'll see that later. But we'll just go ahead and attack her. There's no timing to it. You just press it and it does it. Alright, now when the enemy attacks, this is when you get to start to parry. So if you successfully parry the attack, you won't take any damage, and you'll be able to kind of counterattack automatically. And with basically there's a giant reward for parrying or attacks. So right now she's about to do her normal attack, and you have to watch the animations. Like you notice how she posted up there and then put the sword up or whatever and then put it back down. You actually have to time the attack or the parry or the dodge by paying attention to the animation. So during the tutorial, right now it's explaining what the dodge is going to do, but you would hit circle here for the PlayStation 5, and I'll dodge the attack and she'll completely miss. They're automatically giving you the timing, but as you're playing it, the game will never pause like this. You just have to do it in real time and figure out the animation and the frame, the animation frame you need to do the dodge or the parries. It gets very tricky because all enemies will attack differently and stuff like that. So we're gonna just go ahead and hit circle here, and you'll get that little indication that you've dodged the attack. But anytime you do that, it adds to your attack points, and it also adds to your in this case for this character, his overcharge. So I've got 2 points of overcharge in there now, and then now that I have 6 points, I can during my turn I can only use okay, so this is another thing to know about attacking in this game. So while you have like multiple attack points, the one thing that uses up those attack points is the gun. So if I wanted to shoot at that character 6 times, that would take up 6 attack points. And then I'm done. And then I have to attack. But if, say, I want to use one of my skills instead, if I decide to just go straight to the skills and use one of them, it'll cost whatever amount of skill or attack points. So say I have a fire type of magic or something, and it costs 4 attack points. Well, it'll deduct from that 6. I do my magic attack, but as soon as you do that, it ends your turn. So the trick here is that you want to use the weaker kind of attacks first to kind of set up your I guess process of damaging the enemy, all while knowing what's the last thing that you can do. And one of the last things you can do, if you have any skill points left, is going to be the skills or attack. So you either use your attack points for doing like one hits, and then go to skills and then do a magic attack. You can end your turn like that, or you can do like say you have only 3. And it's not enough to use your skills, so you can just shoot them 3 times and then you can press attack, and that would be your final thing that you could do. So or heal, or whatever. So or heal by using an item is what I was trying to say. So yeah, you'll see it more in practice. I'm just explaining this now so that you guys get an idea on how the game works. So right now it wants me to use a skill, so I'm going to press square. And those are my 2 skill attacks. And right now, as you can see, the Lumiere Assault is going to cost 3 attack points, and the Overcharge is going to cost 4 attack points. If I were to use Lumiere, that number 2 that's in the overcharge, you want that number to be higher. The more you have in there, the more damaging the overcharge attack is going to be. So that's why it gives you incentive for parrying and dodging and, you know, doing those types of things during a battle, so that you can, you know, get more damaging sort of attacks, you know, for more bang for your buck, basically. There's, like I said, there's a lot of depth to the game. It's simple and it sounds complicated, but once you see it in action, it'll make more sense. So right now they want me to do the Lumiere assault. You know, what's cool is it gives you a description on what the move is, and if I were to hit it, it's gonna, you know, do sort of like a, I guess, a lightning charge or some kind, and then you generate additional points for, you know, hitting it. So while I'm wasting 3 of my attack points, I think you just gain 1 back if I'm reading that correctly. But let's see how it plays out. So you just select your target. Let's see, critical hits. Generate 1 additional charge. Oh, I see. It just means that it's just gonna generate like 1 extra little hit. I think it's a lightning hit. Okay. So now this is another thing that's cool. As you do an attack using your skill-based attacks, you get these quick time events in which you've got to time the button. If you've ever played like God of War, or, you know, those types of games where you do like a cinematic attack and you got to press the button in time in order to do the next thing, you know, that's how this game sort of works. You have this little like diamond or square or whatever, and there's like a little meter that kind of goes around the square. Once it goes up into the yellow area there that you can see with that little yellow arrow at the top, that's when you want to press it, and you'll get a perfect timing. And if you get a perfect timing, that's when you get the highest amount of damage that you can get from that move. So you just want to, it happens really fast too, and it's like you have to kind of anticipate the thing moving, because sometimes they'll do like a couple hits of their animation and then the thing will move. So you just have to pay attention to what the proper timing is for each of these attacks. So right there, saw how it just kind of moved around and then I pressed X. That's how you get more damage. Now this is when you get to parry. So once the character comes at you, the enemy, then you want to be prepared. You got to watch that animation. So I'm doing a lot of talking, I understand. I apologize, but I'm trying to explain this as this is happening during the training, because once you see this later, you're gonna think that that's just how the game plays. But when you see me parrying and dodging and stuff, it's because I'm actively doing it in real time and, you know, timing these defensive maneuvers of the game. But essentially, it's just going to make you press it here, and boom. And then if they attack you again, you got to, you know, if they have multiple hits, you got to know the timing and parry them accordingly, and boom. And then here's the third one. And then when you successfully parry each of the attacks, it knocks the enemy back, and then like it just gives you a crap ton of your points and stuff back that you've been spending. So it's almost like worth it to try to parry and dodge, because you'll get the most effectiveness of your moves by parrying and dodging and things like that. So because of that, you see my overcharge thing got filled up really fast, because I parried all 3 successfully. Then once you do that, you know, you just go into your skills. And then the thing with overcharge is that once I trigger it, this has one of those quick time events. So in order for me to get the maximum amount of damage from the overcharge attack, I've got to watch the meter go around and then press X right at the top of the quick time, you know, little meter thing that you see around the button. So, you know, and it happens really quick, so you've got to really pay attention.
For those who come up.
Right there, 1, and again, and I did 2 clicks, and it just does a gigantic version of the attack, and, you know, and then that's what ends up happening. If you can successfully parry the enemy's attacks and you just kill them without them touching you at all, you get a 20% bonus on your XP. So otherwise, if they hit you just once, you just get whatever the normal amount of XP is. So as you're sort of grinding to try to level up your characters, you're wanting to come out the match without ever being touched at all, and that's the thing that separates this game from a lot of other turn-based RPGs out there. Is this parry system it's awesome. It's all that in a bag of chips. I'm telling you right now. It's so fun. It's very like satisfying and rewarding, because you'll die to a boss or you'll die to just regular enemies because you were trying to figure out the timing of their parrying and you weren't successfully landing your things and your quick time events and all that stuff. And it's like the more and more you understand the engine and the combat system, the more satisfying the gameplay becomes.
You won. Now don't you feel better? I see your smile. All right, now.
Okay, Color of Lumina. So that's one of those things that you sort of earn in the game. We'll take a look at it later, and they've got a little thing that kind of explains what they're for and how you use them. But you'll get things that you add to weapons, and you'll add to your skills, and all this Lumina stuff comes into play later when you're kind of trying to customize your character and customize their abilities and stuff.
I saw her near the red and white tree.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll go ahead and head down.
Oh, the plaza is lively.
Let's see how we're doing on time. Okay, well, we're down to our first hour, it looks, or close to our first hour.
Why people like to celebrate the Gommage is still a mystery to me, but oh well.
Okay, let's go down to here. And I may, depending on how I feel, I may give a little extra time, because like I said, I know I did a lot of talking in the beginning, but we're trying to explain things as we're doing them in the game, so that I can save myself
Always found it beautiful.
the explanation
really
later.
Understand. You and Sophie broke up so long ago, but clearly you never got over her.
But I promise I'll try to make,
wait until today
I'll try to use make the time, make efficiency with the time that I'm using to stream these parts. And thank you if you're joining us today. We're playing Clair Obscur Expedition33, an amazing game by Sandfall Interactive, a French company. This is their first ever big studio game. While we have just a brief moment, I just want to take the time to explain or give credit to these guys for the voice acting and the casting for this game. It's amazing what they did with this game so far. Maelle here, she is voiced by Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3. Jennifer English, I think, is her name. And everybody here, it just does such an amazing job. Just like games like The Last of Us and Uncharted and Baldur's Gate. I mean, any of those games where the focal point is the performances of the characters you're interacting with and playing with in the game. This is another one of those unique experiences where I honestly think they should make this thing into a full-fledged either movie, or I think a television series would even be amazing. And I think it would be a smash hit. I think everybody would actually watch this because of the somberness of the story itself. But back to the voice actors. Some of the casting includes people like who else is in this game? The guy, there's another character. I haven't met him yet, but we'll meet him as we play through the game. But he's voiced by, I think his name is Ben Starr, if I'm saying that correctly. But he's the guy that was in, he was the voice of Final Fantasy 16. So he was in that. And then we also have Charlie Cox, I mentioned. But the big one is there's a you know, this is a pseudo spoiler, but there's a major character in here, and he's voiced by none other than the great Andy Serkis. The very same Andy Serkis that is Gollum and Caesar from Planet of the Apes and a bunch of other things. He was the king in Heavenly Sword that was back on PlayStation 3. That was one of the first times I seen him do video game voice acting. But he's the, you know, one of the main characters in here, and he's like, I haven't met him yet, but the character just seems like it's pretty cool. So, all right, let's go ahead and kind of get through here.
Good luck. I'll be here for you if things don't go as planned.
Thanks.
Every so often when I hear Gustave talk, I kind of hear the English Daredevil come out of him. You know, like if Daredevil lost his English accent or American accent, it just went to his British accent. You can definitely hear it, but I still can't get past that. I'm telling you, if they did a live action version of this, Robert Pattinson would actually be great in this role. I think he would. This would be the kind of character I think he could play very well. All right, we're gonna take our little ride down our Lumina rope, whatever these things are called. Okay, so another thing about this is, this is a very somber town. I don't know. We'll see here shortly why. And let's go meet Sophie.
The last few days meant everything.
Can we talk?
Gustave, I love you all.
That's for your, if there's room.
There's always room.
You know, I'm sorry that... I
You
miss
don't
you
need
too.
to... Okay.
You go.
No, you.
You know how I feel? I wish things had been... You know, I often think... Another path, you know, another future.
Still can't finish your sentences, can you?
Yep, that hasn't changed.
I missed that. I never faulted you for wanting to believe. You're fighting to change things. I understand, just... in a different world, right?
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
Stubborn people change the world, and you are the most stubborn person I know. Thank you. Walk me to the harbour?
Yes.
Okay, so that's our introduction to Sophie. What's cool is as you're playing, you can do a quick swap. see, I'm gonna change between the characters, and you know, walk around as her, walk around as him. And that's something you can do like later when you get, you know, new characters to your party. But let's walk through with her. Let's walk from her perspective. So Sophie is obviously the an ex-girlfriend to Gustave, and she's got this little garland of flowers on her necklace, and she has to basically participate in something called the Gommage, which is a it's not necessarily a celebration, but it's a almost like a ritual. I know a lot of you probably know what this is about, this story, but this is for the viewers or people who are interested in knowing about this game like in real time as I'm playing through it. So I'm playing this from the perspective as if you bought this game for the first time and you're picking it up and playing it for yourself. And so, like I said, you're gonna just experience what I experienced with this game, and hopefully, you know, it's we share a common experience with it, because I think this is definitely one of those games that is an experience, just for its storytelling elements. But it's a very empty town, as you can see. So let's take a look around and see what we can interact with. Chroma, that's something I picked up back there. That was, it's basically like your currency for the game. You use it to buy items. You know, there's merchants, and you can buy weapons and armor and items from merchants later down the road. A lot of flowers here, though. Very symbolic. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Sophie. So Gustave really did come, huh?
Now, they have branching dialogue, so you'll get choices on answering things. I don't know if it changes the outcome of the game, but I assume it does.
Yeah, he did.
I knew he would.
Has everybody already left?
Yeah. Everybody's heading to the Harbour.
Yeah, so by the end of this, we gotta meet everybody at the Harbour for this thing called the Gommage.
Sophie.
Looks like you still have a lot of flowers left.
Well, there are less and less people to buy them. I just wish you didn't have to wear one.
Tiffany.
I should finish cleaning up here and join everyone at the Harbour. See you.
See you.
Man, just like the music and the dialogue already is just
See you. See you.
is already very melancholy, you know? Like, I mean, I played through this already, and just kind of going through it again, it's like it really hits you when you know sort of what's going on.
Years.
It really does.
Look around. We've had our whole lives to prepare. We're all fine. Mostly.
I'm not fine.
You will be.
Yeah, so if you haven't gotten hip to it already, the Gommage itself is it's sort of a ritual that these people do. We'll get there. This game will have you thinking about a lot of things, especially like in life, man. Like, I think that's why I wanted to do one of these, this little series of videos, because this is this is just one of those games where you really start to question things in life in general, you know. You know, and this game challenges you in that way, how to deal with life itself. You know, as they say, you know, we all live on borrowed time, and that's completely what this game is about. It's about borrowed time. So this is the Gommage. It's not really a festival, and it's not a celebration, but it's sort of like a rite of passage in a way. But beautiful architecture, you know. They got, I mean, a lot of moving parts. Very gorgeous. And you just sort of interact with things that you can. I think that's what I wanted to do this playthrough for, is to just kind of spend a little bit more time in this area than I did before. Because, you know, the first time around, I didn't know what I was getting myself involved in. I do know, however, there's a couple of these little chroma things, so I'm going to try to get this. There we go. Nice little roll there, French girl. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing good. Okay, nothing over here. We're really gonna just take our time and see what we can interact with out here. Huh. Yeah, so there's a lot of us that are wearing these little or garlands or leis, you know, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of us wearing them.
Oh, Sophie.
Marie,
Your flowers? I didn't know about. I thought you were younger. And yet you didn't have children.
I'm not having this conversation with you again. Not today.
Do you care so little about the future of Lumiere? How can you be so selfish?
Alright, Marie, what's your deal?
I am not selfish enough to bring others into our doomed world. I know we are not many to think like this now. And it destroyed my relationship with the person I loved the most. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to spend this moment with him. And you should cherish this moment with your daughter.
Yeah, for real, though.
Sorry. See you at the harbour.
Good luck, Mary.
All right. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on here. Just wondering if you can like play a tune. Man, That's like, I can't stop just looking around this place. That's one thing I love about these types of games, man, is when you can kind of just lose yourself in the immersion, you know. I know lots of games have things like this in it, but this game just looks amazing. Oh, wow, look at this. What is this thing? Let's find out.
Hey, you! You seem like a woman with exquisite taste. I just finished my sculpture of the legendary Sciel. This may be my life's finest work, yet not a single soul seems to care. How could I make it better?
Perhaps you could paint it. Add some color.
Paint it? Brilliant. I knew you were the right person to ask.
You're most welcome.
I shall get to work tomorrow. I see you're wearing flowers. What's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie. As a thank you, I shall chisel your name onto the statue.
Oh, you don't have to.
But I will.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll try to see if I can see the... We'll learn more about this statue later, I think. So that's one thing about this game. It's got some very unique lore to it. It's very, like, it's its own lore. And you'll see that as we play through the game.
My Gestral costume is the best! Hey, madame, do you think the Gestrals really exist?
Of course they do.
That's what I think too. The others laugh, but I know they're real.
Right now what you're seeing is a little bit of that lore. There are these beings or creatures known as Gestrals, and you'll see them later in the game.
One day, I will meet one.
What are they dancing to?
Even if it means joining an expedition. I'll raise a Gestral army and we'll crush the Paintress.
So right now these NPCs are introducing sort of like...
And me and my little brother will live with the Gestrals.
What's the main thing in the game? That's the first... We're hearing the name the Paintress. So we'll, as we play through a little bit more, we'll figure out what the Paintress is.
We're tired of the orphanage. If the legends are true, they really like to fight. That's why I'm training every day by beating up my little brother.
That's... yeah. You would make a great Gestral.
Thanks.
It's like I get the references to this now a little bit more. Oh, man. So yeah, as you notice, there's some of us are wearing this little flower thing, and some of us aren't. And there's lots of little children in this town, as you'll see.
Oh, Sophie. What a lovely smell.
Thank you, Richard.
Why is Richard smelling his Gustave's ex-girlfriend there?
I could recognize it from miles away. It's good you're here, Sophie. I have a favor to ask of you.
Anything for my beloved sewing teacher?
We are of the same cohort. Today is my Gommage. And my son and I had a fight last night. He said he wants to join the expedition. He wants to waste the last year of his life. I didn't want that for him. I used to think it was a bad choice. Today, I no longer do. I know I made a mistake. I tried to impose my views on him when he is much braver than I will ever be. So I sewed a special uniform for him. That's my last gift. Could you bring it to him?
Of course. I'll bring it to Jules.
He won't join the Gommage ceremony, but he will be at the Expedition Festival tonight for sure. Oh, but you...
So the Gommage is a ceremony. Yeah, it's not a ritual per se, but...
Don't worry. I'll ask Gustave.
Gustave, are you back together?
For this moment. Maybe.
I'm glad. He's a good person.
Is that why he's smelling up Sophie here?
Yes, he is.
Thanks to both of you.
Man, that's...
See you.
See you.
You know, one of the first games that made you feel like, you know, where it was like somber, was playing the Silent Hill for the first time. You know, they used like fog and like an area that was desolate, you know, to kind of give you this feeling of, you know, like sorrow and loneliness and that sort of. With you know, this guy, and you know, you're only interacting with a few people, and everybody else is kind of like in their own little world, you know. Let's see what else is over here that we could maybe interact with. Yeah, I plan on trying to blow this whole game wide open, you know, as far as searching for things, but at the same time, I don't want to pigeonhole myself in trying to beat this game within 33 hours, but I think it would be cool if I was able to do it in that amount of time, that exact amount of time. Okay, so those are expeditioners, you know. I mean, it's in the game. You know, it's in the game title, Expedition33. And we'll figure out what that means here shortly. Oh, yet another person.
Why does Manon keep saying, death comes to us all?
You haven't heard that before?
No.
Unofficial expedition motto. You never heard Lucien say it either. It's one of his favorites.
I think he prefers, we're already dead, you're just catching up.
Yeah, I heard that one recently.
I don't know. Kinda nice in a way. Having a deadline forces you to prioritize. It's a bit freeing as we get closer to the end.
You can really find the silver lining in everything, can't you?
No, it's just... things don't always work out the way we want. No use getting upset, you know? Use what we can, leave what we can't.
Well, that was depressing. I mean, I love the environment, but I hate when they do this in games. They put all this stuff that you can clearly see. You could walk right over there if you wanted to, and you just can't because they don't you know, it's just part of the environment. But let's not take ourselves out of the immersion here. Wow. You know, see, this is what's really cool about this game is like the way that they do camera shots and angles and everything. Like right now, this is like the long stretch to go into the harbor for the what's called the Gommage. And so, you know, you're walking along with Sophie here. And we're just gonna see what we can interact with here.
Hi, Gustave. You're back. Oh, did you want to pick out a different flower?
No, the one you suggested earlier was perfect.
Oh, I'm glad. These garlands are our last farewell. I want them all to feel special. I have a garland saved for you, too. Good luck, my friend.
Thanks, Ophelie.
I think Ophelie is kind of feeling Edward / Bruce Wayne. Yeah, it's a bad Robert Pattinson joke. I mean, come on. That's Robert Pattinson. Like, how can that not be Robert Pattinson? Cedric Diggory, guys. Cedric Diggory from Harry Potter is in this game. You know, having played a little bit through this and hearing the line that, you know, there's a lot more flowers, it kind of gets you, man. It really does. Now I see, you know, why this game is so popular and the hype behind it. Like, you know, there's like everybody's playing this game right now. Well, I won't say everybody because, you know, today I asked a bunch of my close friends if they've even heard of this game, and like not a single one of them has even heard of this game.
You two would make a cute
which is
couple.
what makes this game even more intriguing.
Maybe something already happened, huh?
Okay, random trash can. We'll just interact with it just because we can. Wow. I'm just noting all the people wearing their flowers today. One thing is, they've all got like different colored flowers. I wonder what that means. Oh, what's this? I don't think I saw this.
This lady truly is exquisite.
In love?
Not quite. I am only in love with her art. My inspiration has been quite lacking recently. Nobody buys paintings anymore. Just because she is called the Paintress doesn't mean painting is evil.
Your canvas seems quite empty.
I need inspiration. But you, I can see you're in love. With this fine gentleman, I suppose.
We broke up.
Oh, it's like that, Sophie.
That is of no consequence in matters of love. But it is this passion I so fiercely desire in my painting. I know. How about showing me a dance of love and sorrow? I am also the official painter of the opera.
Oh, I bet you are, Nicholas.
Will you help me? If you inspire
Just trying to kick game with the painting lines.
Opera. Fantastic. You may start. Here, gorgeous lady, take this paintbrush and show me your wrath.
Okay, I guess.
Oh,
Come
nice.
on.
dodge your lady's beautiful moves.
Military.
Come on, don't counter your loved one. This is not a duel to the death.
See, I'm pressing the parry in real time. And I'm watching those little slashes.
Come on, don't counter your loved one. This is not a duel to the death.
I just did a dodge there.
That was splendid. One more time.
If you play later, the parrying is not this slow.
Come on, don't counter your loved one. This is not a duel to the death. Sublime. One last time. Come on, dodge your lady's beautiful moves. Come on, dodge your lady's beautiful moves.
Parry or dodge? Yeah, that's what's cool. At the end of the battle, it'll tell you how many times you did parries and dodges, and what your damage and all that stuff is, and how long the battle took.
That was splendid, splendid. I was so enthralled that I completed the painting in an instant.
It's nice to know something of us will remain in the world after today. Thank you.
It is I who should thank you. It was a moving dance. I will propose it for the new opera painting we have to do this year.
I feel it wasn't that
I
impressive.
wonder if you come back to this area, like later in the game, if they show all these things.
Will always be impressive. Also, take this as a gesture of appreciation. I see your not boyfriend is an expeditioner. It may prove useful.
What is that? Oh, okay, we cut. Okay, that's just a little item you get. That's cool. I didn't do that when I first played this. I just, I was so enamored by like everything in the world that I just didn't even see that guy. Oh boy.
You really think you're doing something, eh? Out there?
Maxine, you're drunk.
None of you ever come back. You go and you take our resources and you waste it all on a fucked up hero adrenaline fantasy.
Pardon his French.
She kills us.
No pun intended. Or actually pun intended.
You should go home. Where's your daughter?
Where do you think? Mourning her mother on the anniversary of her death.
Then maybe you should be with her.
I can't look at her. She's just another reminder that nothing we do matters. Nothing. We hope and we persevere, and still they die. They all die and we can't stop it. We can't save them. We bring another generation into this world just so they can watch us die before they're even old enough to understand why.
Dang, your boy's pretty drunk there.
That's why we're going. We can save them. With our Lumina tech. The Paintress?
The Paintress? What? What's a scrawny shit like you gonna do to the Paintress, eh? We're already dead. You're just catching up.
Oh, there goes that line again.
Maxime.
Forget it. Bon voyage.
Yeah, see, that's what's cool about this game. Like I said, you know, without any real context, we know that there's this ceremony called the Gommage going on. We know that there's something called Expeditioners, and we know that there's children, and they're mentioning a little bit of the lore, and you know, and that's what's cool. This what I'm playing through is actually just essentially the prologue to the story of the game. They don't tell you, like, you know, like when you start a game, like, you know, in the year 2000 there was a blah blah blah, and you know, and people were oppressed, and you know, but one day, you know, it doesn't do that. You just start the story out from the perspective of this time period with these characters in what is their current present time, and you play it out. Oh, I missed a thing over here. Okay, I'll get to it. Let me just see if I can maybe watch the... Oh! So, spoiler alert, that's actually one of your party members up there. Oh, that's cool. Well, we'll get to meet her later, so that's the spoiler. But, again, this is just us playing this game, and it's gonna have nothing but spoilers, so it's to be expected. Let me do a quick time check. Okay. Alright. Try to speed things up here, or speed things along, I should say. Yeah, nothing we can do over here. Oh. Totally another trash can we can interact with. Let's see here. Ah, man, like these little posts, So you got one of those haircuts, like modern day haircuts. Those, what do they call those? The broccoli haircut. He damn sure does. But yeah, I'm making light of something that's pretty harrowing. So that's one cool little thing, like I said, that I noticed about this game is like how the further through you go, you know, you kinda, that's why they give you all this like interactive stuff to do, so you can spend time with the characters, you know, in their moment, you know.
Sometimes I feel sorry for her.
Who? The Paintress?
Look at her. She looks sad. Maybe she's a prisoner too, stuck in the same cycle with us. Silly, huh?
Only you could choose empathy at a moment like this.
It's one of the few choices I can make.
I couldn't do it.
It's okay. You don't have to.
Now, I don't know who plays the voice of Sophie, but I guess we can figure that out later. I'm gonna go and look it up real quick. Let's see who's the voice cast. So I'm just trying to look up the voice actors. So, who plays? Like they're showing the major voices. That's not what we're trying to look at. Let's see. I'm gonna look at one other thing real quick. I'm curious as to who plays the voice of Sophie. That's why. We'll find out here in just a sec. Oh, here we go. I don't want a wiki. I just want a full voice cast. Oh wait, how about this? We'll do what's her name? Sophie. I'm looking this up for myself because I'm just curious as to who plays her. Oh, here we go. IMDb. Wow, I didn't know the IMDb's for video games. Billy Fullard Brown. Who's Billy Fullard Brown? Oh, Fulford Brown. Okay, she's just like a British, like, voice actress. That's, I mean, I'm not downplaying what she does, but like, she's not known for like video or specifically video games. I think she's done different types of stuff, but she's like an audiobook narrator or something like that. Let's get back to walking with Sophie. Well, there solves the mystery of the voice actress. She just sounded familiar. I just wondered if she was, you know, maybe a known actor from maybe another video game or something like that, or an animation. Man, there's so many things going on out here. It's hard to keep up with it all, huh? Oh, I think I found another. Oh, we are going to town on these little chroma things. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of chroma, but it's, like I said, it's what you use for currency. Oh, man. That's pretty sad. Oh. Oh, man, it's like the further and further you go, man, the more it hurts.
I love you guys. Remember what Bo used to say? You're living for the rest of us.
Fuck the Paintress! Fuck the Paintress! Fuck the Paintress!
They really don't like the Paintress. I wonder why.
I'll see you soon enough.
Oh man. This just gets like... Wow. And that's what I mean, man. Like, I know what's going on already, even though, you know, some of you that are watching this game for the first time might not. But, man, that's crazy. So, you know, the Gommage is a ceremony for these people wearing the flowers, and the ones that aren't participating in this ceremony just sit and kind of watch from afar. It's very, just very sad. I know, y'all, if you're watching this for the first time, you're just kind of like, well, what's the big deal? And we'll just find out here soon enough. We're just kind of taking in the, taking in the environment.
Pictos on your own body.
I'm kind of interacting with things I didn't interact with before too, so
Why?
it's gonna be a lot of walking around and talking to people.
Nah, the show's great.
I want to give as much, context to everything as I can because I'm still trying to understand elements of the story, and so by interacting with people and watching this stuff, it helps to, understand the story. Like chroma, for instance. Chroma is like an artistic term used in art, and and that's what I mean. Like there's like deeper meaning to a lot of things in this, even though it's like it's titled that or it's called a mechanic or whatever it is. That's what these guys kind of interweave in the storytelling. By expressing French culture,
I'll stick to painting Pictos on
and
my
art.
machines.
Could be useful though. The expeditions rely on them quite heavily.
Yeah, they're crazy too. But at least you can remove Pictos pretty easily if you change your mind.
Yeah, so later you're going to learn that Pictos is actually something that you can equip. And we'll learn that in a little bit. But it's like these dancers are not doing Harry Potter magic, but they're using chroma to produce the little illuminated lights and stuff. Oh boy. Let's just mosey on down here to the harbor.
I've always loved the harbor.
I think we've interacted with almost everybody that we could interact with, from my understanding. But there's still some more exploring to do if we can. Let's see if we can go down here to the side. Yeah, it's not going to let me. So, okay. Now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of the story premise. So, the gommage is a French word for erasure. And we're about to meet the Paintress and what her deal is. So I guess I'll just go ahead and go right on into it. And here we go. So essentially the Paintress is this entity that lives back there where the number 34 is.
Here, Sophie asked us to bring you your coat.
And so she is this entity that paints that number on the monolith.
You guys know how to sew?
Sophie helped us. Turns out it's not that hard. You really should have done this ages ago.
You did this.
Gentlemen, that was supposed to be between us, yeah?
I wanted to do something for you.
There's a lot of little subtle things that you're getting introduced to real early,
Thanks,
and
guys.
they make references to it later
This is
in
great.
the game.
Thank you.
See you at the
Particularly
festival?
here with the Apprentices.
Yeah, of course not. What? I know that face.
There he
You
sounds like
mean
Matt Murdock right there.
I can tell.
Yeah, they mean a lot to me too. Legacy can take many
Alright.
forms, right?
Yeah.
You told me that.
Right.
So in just a moment I'm going to go a little radio silent here so we can kind of let this scene play out, and then we'll talk about it after
Why?
after we get through this scene.
I wanted to see you wearing it.
Oh, you like uniforms now?
we go. He's got his expedition outfit on.
In a way, it's yours too.
I swear this music does not help in terms of cheering things up. Alright, so this is the actual ceremony of the Gommage. Again, the French word for erasure. You kind of see its significance to the Paintress. Man, when I first saw this, I couldn't even talk. I just was so intrigued at what I was watching, you know. I love the emotional expression on the characters' faces. I mean, it tells everything. And the camera zooms in. Check this out. So essentially every year they have to go through this ceremony, this Gommage, and the Paintress appears on the birth year of that number for everyone. So, or their birthday. If they're that age for that year, they are essentially killed. And see, those are the kids we saw. That's the mother who's talking to her about children, and that's the guy that had the fight with his son. And they're just like Thanos snapped with flowers instead of ashes. And that's why you see so many children.
I'm here.
Yeah, man, the first time I saw this broke my heart, and I just it takes a certain kind of storytelling and a certain kind of, to feel the raw emotion. It's at this point I don't feel like I'm playing a video game. I feel like I'm playing I'm involved in an experience, storytelling experience, and I really think they should do a television series. This would be an amazing television series. They'd have to do very big budget, And so 33, that's all the people that were basically gommaged were 33, and everybody else is younger than the people that just disappeared here. And they have an entire year to figure things out, and then they go through this every year, and we're down to 33. So the next ones up are going to be 32 in short, and that was why he spent the last moments. And you as the player get to spend the last moments with his, the love of his life, I guess, and very tragic, very Romeo and Juliet, Shakespearean kind of cathartic, moment. Very powerful, man. I love it. I mean, I love the meaning behind the game. Like I said, it's about mortality, and you're always going to be on borrowed time, and in this instance, they know when they're going to go. Man. Now, one thing, I want to see if this is how it plays out, but
There you are. You can't hide from us, Like I said, mourning's best done with friends. What? It is. Grieving alone's the worst.
Where's mine?
Santé, les amis.
Santé.
Yeah, no,
yeah, it's like, how can you celebrate or have a festival? So now that we know sort of the base premise,
Told you we'd beat the 34s.
every year there's this countdown.
Even Maelle showed up. She hates these things.
The Gommage happens, and we're left with people that go on these expeditions, and so
Maybe later.
what you're supposed to understand is that these expeditions
I'm okay.
are basically
Yeah. Time for a refill.
are basically people who are trying to fight the good fight and figure out how to stop stop this process, because it's something that they can't figure out.
Don't drink alone, you weirdo.
Yeah, right. Enjoy myself.
And so they have the Expedition Festival shortly after the Gommage, because the members of, or these expeditioners, they're the ones that go out to try to stop the Paintress. And, it was a very, surreal moment when, Sophie just says, she feels sorry for the Paintress, because, you're supposed to feel sorry for these people. They all have lives, there's children they're leaving behind, and there is nobody past the age of 33, and she says, though, that one moment she says that she just has almost sorrow for the Paintress, because just as they have to go through this life, she's stuck in a cycle too. That's just her sole thing, is to count down. But the hook of the story is that we're all trying to figure out why and how to stop it, basically. And Maelle is just the young girl that we saw that trained us in the beginning. So I'm gonna go ahead and just interact with some characters here, and let's see what's going on.
These all yours?
You gonna lecture me on drinking?
I wouldn't dare. Just calculating how much it'll hurt to catch up.
You can start now. Here, let's have a toast to Sophie, who was always unapologetically Sophie.
I was just literally talking about this character now. We're having a toast to her.
To Soph. Seriously though, this is gonna hurt tomorrow.
Tomorrow comes, but it ain't here yet. I'm not crossing the sea sober.
Sober's better than deathly hungover.
No, not for that.
I'm gonna do a quick time check. Okay.
Go have some drinks.
Maybe we'll try to do 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I'll see if I can get the this part down to that time.
No way. Everyone knows you cheat.
Ah, it's just what sore losers say. Come now. You're going to be a little cautious mouse with the Paintress too.
Cautious is good. Keeps you alive.
Ah, we're expeditioners. Stay smart, yes, but be bold, huh? You can't win if you don't play.
Money's no good out there anyway. Why are you trying to fleece me?
'Cause winning's fun.
Can we talk to him? Yes, we didn't.
Gustave! Come drink with me.
I'm pacing myself tonight.
Ah, you're so boring. It's our last night. Who knows?
I like that you say when and not if.
Oops.
What can I say? I'm an optimist. Or an idiot. Depends on who you ask.
Can we talk to this guy right now? Oh. What are you doing, Gustave? Why are you jumping on the cheesecake, man?
Come, let's play some cards.
Oh yeah, we talked to this guy already. Okay, what's up?
Commander?
Gustave? Saw you with Sophie. You talked?
Yeah, yeah.
Seems to be a lot of people asking about Sophie.
Where's your daughter?
Like, borderline asking if she's like on the market while she's about to go to her Gommage. Like what the heck?
Leona's upset. Doesn't want to see me.
Shit.
It's okay. She doesn't need to understand, as long as she gets to live.
You know, I wonder, like, do these people marry younger? Because you kind of have to. I mean, what is the age gap be? You know, by the time people are not old enough to go off on these expeditions and, you know, sort of fight the good fight.
No pressure.
Oh no. Lots of pressure. You and Lune and your Lumina tech, that's our edge.
Thanks, but that's not. Everyone has a role. Lucien,
So,
Catherine,
Luna is the girl that we saw playing the guitar earlier.
That's our edge.
We're about to meet her anyways, so it's not really like a spoiler per se. But
Tomorrow comes, my friend.
Doesn't it always?
Think there's other surviving possible. Maybe if they have shield domes. But they would have been overrun by Nevrons before they could build any.
We were lucky the Fracture dropped us out here. Bought us time to get our defenses up.
Alright, so there's our references to two major things, Nevrons and the Fracture. So, the Fracture...
No.
Hold on, I'll
resourceful,
let him finish.
and Nevrons can't be everywhere. I'm betting on human ingenuity.
I like that.
So Nevrons are basically the beings that you encounter in the game later. You know, they're the things that you fight, basically. They all come in different shapes and forms and sizes and craziness. I don't know if they're like the protectors to what do you call it? The Paintress. But I do know that they're on her island where she's at. So you fight these, you know, hulking things. They, like I said, they come in different shapes and sizes and stuff. Is this the Yeah, this is the drunk people.
Hey, yourself. You okay? Want to talk about it?
Yeah. Actually, no.
That's okay.
What about you? You say goodbye to Derek?
Oh, that was over ages ago.
Oh, sorry. I really thought you guys would work out.
It's for the best. I need full focus on the expedition and our team. We're all we have.
Yeah. We're all we have.
There's a little
Glass of wine?
party boy over here, Lucian.
Keep your sweat to yourself.
Bring Gustave a glass of wine.
Dang, man.
Who exactly are you talking to? They cut servers from the budget years ago.
Ah, the ultimate indignity. A farewell party where we serve ourselves. There's a mess.
I'm betting you've got another bottle stashed in your coat somewhere. You gonna share?
You wound me. But yes, in fact, I do have a bottle. Always be prepared. Or was it always bring backup? Same difference.
Right.
And I am prepared. Prepared to live. And prepared to die.
You're such an idiot.
Hey. We've got your Luma Converter, yeah? I believe. I'm ready for my Lumina.
Yeah, well, we've only tested it here. Who knows what we'll meet on the main continent? We'll need more field testing once we land.
Don't worry, buddy. I've got you covered.
Great. Thanks, buddy.
Did we talk with her? I don't think we did.
You came.
I wasn't sure if I should.
You've been avoiding us. You didn't have to.
I heard Seba filled my spot after I left.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm a coward for staying?
Oh. Maybe she,
Do you?
was supposed to be one of these expeditioners and...
Not anymore. Not all of us can change the world. Some of us can only change ourselves.
Meaning what? Make yourself accept the unacceptable? Make believe that happiness is... this?
More like... rediscover. Happiness. One Gommage left. Maybe contentment is the highest form of happiness.
We say ignorance is bliss.
It makes me sad to hear you talk like this. The Paintress stole so many things, including your capacity to dream.
No, you misunderstand. My mind is where I can be free. She can't touch me there. This is my final act of defiance. Just like the expedition is yours.
It's kind of like the Matrix, you know, like people who just, like Cypher. He'd rather just live in the Matrix knowing that it's not real, you know.
If you say so.
That's interesting, you know, you get a different perspective. See, like, these expeditioners, their sole, like, purpose is to try to give themselves hope that they don't have to watch a clock. I mean, like, look how harrowing that is, just looking at that number, knowing that the next number is 32, and when you see that number, that's it, you know. And then anybody under 32, they're the next ones to try to figure out and save the world, you know. So it's like a generational thing where each generation of people try to, you know, stop the Paintress.
I just finished calibrating the Luma Converter. We can launch test runs as soon as we land.
Perfect.
Hey, does Lune seem preoccupied to you? She's been distant lately.
Well, it's Lune.
This feels different.
I haven't noticed anything, but you know her better. Have you talked to her?
Oh, you have to forgive me. I'm just yawning away here.
No, she doesn't like people prying. I've known her since we were 6. She hates personal questions.
Ah, right. You were both apprenticed to her parents.
Yeah. Let's just say they ran a tight ship.
I can...
Okay.
Ready for tomorrow?
Yeah. Been ready. What about you? Heard you were elected Commander 32. Congrats.
I've already claimed Alon's office. It's got a nicer view than mine.
A view of the Paintress. You're sicker than I thought.
She won't be there for long.
If we fail, though.
When one falls, we continue. We'll pick up and we'll push on. But I know we will meet again.
Alright.
Gustave, we got something for you.
For your field notes, so when you come back, you can tell us everything.
This is cool. They get you this little journal thing, and as you play through the game, you eventually get to set up a camp, and kind of like Baldur's Gate 3. If you've ever played Baldur's Gate 3, you can set up camp, and you get to be in this little camp area where you can walk around and spend time talking to the characters, and and stuff like that. And one of the things in the camping in here is that you got to write in there your exploration and all your discoveries and stuff. I mean, you don't physically do it, but you have an option to pull out this journal and put stuff in there for the kids. So I just kind of wonder, at a certain point, when you return to the kids, get to see this book. It's little.
They'll definitely want that for the museum.
Little storytelling device, I guess.
The Paintress.
Oh, and if you find journals from the other expeditions, make sure you save them for us.
That's actually what really the journal is for. It's meant to be, you collect, how when you play those games and you get little letters, like in Resident Evil, or if you play BioShock, you get those little recordings, to kind of, it tells us, that's what this game does. It just, you get those little journals, and they are just stories from the other expeditioners. When you learn a little bit more later about how this whole thing started, you periodically find these journals, and they're audio playbacks of an expeditioner telling a story of that instance. And you can collect I think up to 60 some odd, or 70 of them, or something like that, or maybe up to the amount of the time, because right now we're on 33. And so what you'll learn later is that there was a year 100, and it's counted down from that time, yada yada yada. So
I
we'll
shall
get to there.
faithfully record all our adventures, every strange and wondrous thing.
And Nevrons.
I can do that. And in return, do you solemnly promise to take care of the shield dome while I'm gone?
I promise.
Promise.
Adrien?
I'll use everything you taught us, Monsieur G.
I should check on Maelle. She's probably alone, as usual.
Yeah, Maelle, but we're not done talking to people out here, so let's go ahead and meet Lune.
I can't believe you're working right now.
Tristan dragged me here.
Is that the final spot? It's amazing you triangulated Expedition Zero's landing site.
Theoretically, extrapolated from the archives, but so much of the landscape has changed.
I trust your calculations.
Thanks.
So, what we're looking at is basically like a little, more or less like a map. She sort of pinpointed the location of where Expedition 0, or the first expeditioners, landed to try to get to, you know, in terms of trying to get to the Paintress.
It's a good strategy, retracing their steps. They're the only expedition with any survivors, and they made it to the Monolith, so...
And there you have it. So they were the first group to actually make it to the Monolith.
Assuming the record's correct, my calculations are correct.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not given any of this stuff
haven't changed,
throughout the course of the beginning of the game, or just as you're playing through. But they'll have some dialogue of something that will explain something about the game to give you that lore and background, history and stuff like that.
You need a drink.
Go away, Gustave.
Okay, so there's a few more things to interact with out here. I just didn't want to leave them behind here. I think I can backtrack and just go to him. Because you eventually got to talk to these, like, merchants or whatever they are. So, let's start with this one.
Hey, Gustave, check out the new Pictos I made.
Yeah. Pictos are, again, something that is in regards to your abilities later that you can equip. But they're supposed to be like, pictures.
Looks a bit rough. You sure it works?
I've been working on this for months. It's my personal masterpiece.
Your personal masterpiece seems a little... unorthodox?
It's dead useful, trust me. Come on, give it a whirl.
Sure, why not?
Great. I'll trade it for 1 token.
So I automatically start off with 1 token, but as you interact with different things, you get the other tokens to get, to talk to the other merchants.
Call it morbid curiosity.
You won't regret it.
So I've got a weird Pictos inspection is enough to say, well, I didn't even catch what it said, but we don't have to deal with that right now. Let's go talk to Maelle, because I want to do this in a certain order so you can kind of see something pretty cool that's coming up before we go on to the next area.
I knew I'd find you here. Having second thoughts about the expedition?
Please. More ready to go than you are.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know we've been over this, but as your guardian, I need to say this one more time.
Okay, so at first when I played this, I thought that was his sister, but apparently he's like a guardian to her because obviously her parents probably had their Gommage, and she became orphaned, and so he took her in.
The rest of us only have a year left, but you've got 9 good years before your Gommage. You don't need to leave yet. It's a lot to risk.
So, 9 years. So if he's 32, she's got to be like 23, I guess.
1 year out there is better than 9 years in here.
I know you think that, but
If anyone should stay, it's you. You have friends and family who want you here.
So do you.
No, I don't.
And this is the character that's voiced by Shadowheart, or from Baldur's Gate 3. This is Jennifer English.
Emma thinks of you as family.
Lumiere is not my home. Not the... Besides, this way I can keep an eye on you for Emma.
Right. Because she needs eyes everywhere.
Shush. You're lucky you have a sister who cares.
doubly lucky, since now I have two.
Alright, enough chit-chat. Come on, old man, let's have a duel.
Old man?
You're pretty much the oldest man in Lumiere now, no? Come on.
So let's take a quick...
This time, I'm not messing around.
This time this is going to play through without stopping, so we'll do like a little match here. And it's just another way to practice before you get to the, you know, go into the world and start fighting enemies. Alright, so the game plan, or the game plan here is to just try to weaken her without expending too much of my attack points, and have enough to, you know, use one of my skills. So we'll just do... So I want to start off with 2 attacks and see how I lost 2 attack points. And I don't even have enough to do one of these attacks, so I'm just gonna finish out the shots. And then we're just gonna, yeah, see. No, once you have no more attack points, the only thing you can do is either skip your turn. I can't even. Oh, you can still use items, but items, skill, or attack, basically, for skip turn is what you can do when you run out of attack points. Just hit her. Alright, and now we're going to try to parry her. It was too late.
No shame losing
See,
to a
she kind of charges up,
fighter.
and you have a moment to kind of parry the attack, so... Well, that's all I wanted to kind of show here. It's just kind of like what that looks like. So we'll just go ahead and attack. I want to try to parry this attack this time. Oh. Oh, see how she did 3 attacks? I was totally not ready for that. Okay, here, we'll wait. Okay, now see how I filled up my meter a little bit more. Now I can do like one of these attacks, so I'll do this. Okay. Oh my god, that's so late. I'm almost dead. I think we're gonna heal. Okay, there we go. It's so satisfying when you get that parry off, though, man. Okay, now we're gonna try her overcharge attack. Okay, I'm gonna
for those who come after.
quick time event. Oh, and there it is. You don't get anything for beating her. It's just more for practice and the kind of, you know. Well, you do get the token. Oh, that's the sister.
Emma's here. Your sister's going to be looking for you.
Our beloved chief counselor. Yeah, I should go talk to her.
Don't get too drunk tonight, okay?
My darling sister has arrived. She'll kill me if I don't say goodbye.
Alright, I'm going to take a moment to do this one thing before I talk to that character, because I missed it the first time, and I thought that this was such a cool little... It's like an Easter egg, basically. So, earlier in the town, we talked about selling and stuff like that, right? And remember how he was talking about how he got in a fight, and that was the last sort of conversation he had? Well, this little kid right here. And so, the father gives you his outfit to give to his son for when he has to... You know, when he's of age, he can go and become a expeditioner.
That's... He made that overnight? Dad. Damn. Now I feel stupid for fighting with him. Oh, Dad. You take it.
What?
I'm not sure I'll ever use it. Maybe I'll go blind like my father, or maybe another expedition will succeed. I want to support the expedition now. Take it. It may be useful to you. It's okay. I don't need the uniform to know my dad's with me.
Thanks.
So, you get this outfit,
Maybe
right?
you'll win and I won't need it back. Or maybe I'll reclaim it off your dead bodies during my expedition.
Alright, you little morbid little kid. So, let's take a look at this. Actually, let's go to Gustave. Okay, here we go. So, okay, there we go. So this is just explaining like what the inventory system looks like and the menu system. And so Pictos right there. Pictos is something you're gonna get later. They're the thing that sort of enhances your character's like abilities. You'll get things like stuff that makes your think of it like like you get cooldowns or it adds more damage to your fire, or like, one of them, for example, is something like to the effect, like if you're the last member on your team, you get 100% chance of doing critical hits. It's like their little augmentations that you can add to the character. The skills are the things that you get through leveling up, and you get a skill tree. You start off with some. I mean, every system uses this nowadays, but like Spider-Man, if you've ever played the PlayStation 4 or 5 version of the game Spider-Man, you got a skill tree. You open up one thing, and then it branches down, and when you get enough points, you spend your points and open up other parts of the tree. So that's standard. Okay, Lumina. So, that's the part that I was still trying to understand. So you earn Lumina, and their points, and then as you get them, you can give them to certain characters, and then like you can apply those points when they're on the character to your skills and stuff, and it like enhances the skill, I believe, or it helps to level them up or something to that effect. Well, we'll read through what they specifically do later. Okay, and this is what I was trying to get to, is the wardrobe. So, that little outfit that you got, right? I mentioned earlier how Charlie Cox is the voice actor behind Gustave here. So, that little outfit that you get is a little Easter egg and a little nod to our friend here. So, those are the colors to Daredevil. And I thought that's such a cool little nod, man. So Gustave, I didn't get this outfit the first time I played, so that's why I wanted to kind of go through this again, and I'm glad I did, because I think that that's such an awesome little homage to the voice actor, and a little play on, just the fact that Charlie Cox is Daredevil. So, all right, let's continue on. Let's go through the rest of these here before we talk to the sister.
Just the man I wanted to see.
So this will give us a little bit of context to some of the history stuff of, this world of Lumiere or whatever.
You want a rematch, don't you?
Well, it's my last chance, isn't it?
After tomorrow, you'll be the undisputed expert on expedition history.
That's tomorrow. What about today?
So he's going to take you through a little trivia thing, but you answer it, and it just tells you a little backstory of the.
Who am I to deny you?
Of the game.
How many years ago was the fracture?
Okay, so the fracture is the event that occurs here in this world. It's what makes it look like the way it does. Things are broken. It's exactly what it says. It's the fracture. So this was an event in time before the Paintress appears.
You're kidding. This is your question.
Yes. When did our world break apart and our luminous city get thrown into the middle of the ocean? Hmm? When was...
So you would think it's 100 years ago. But if you take 67 and add it to 33, you get 100 years. So the fracture happened 67 years ago.
67 years ago.
Brilliant. I concede. You are the undisputed expert on Lumiere and history.
What are you talking about? Every child knows this. The Monolith's essentially a reverse calendar, counting down since the fracture happened in year 100.
Alright, fine. Another one then. Which was the first expedition to depart for the continent?
Now, if you get these wrong, you will get a chance to, he'll just ask the same question.
Expedition 0.
Sorry, I had to adjust the mic there.
Correct. That still annoys me. They left in year 100. They should be called Expedition 100. Makes no sense. Lumiere will be long gone before the Monolith hits 0. Alright, last one. Get it right and maybe I'll give you a token. What is a Lumina?
Abilities you internalize by using a Pictos in battle after enough times.
Well done, well done.
Not really. I mean, I created the Luma Converter, so...
I hereby officially end our feud. With your departure, Lumiere loses a brilliant light. And a good friend.
You big softy.
Alright, here's a token. Go and spend it on something.
So, the tokens are for these things here. I think we already talked to this guy, right?
You won't regret.
Yeah, so now we talk to her.
Hey, Amandine. Having fun?
Oh, hey, handsome. Perfect timing. I'm styling everyone before we ship out. Gotta look sharp.
Oh, that outfit she has on, that's part of the DLC. The rose outfit or whatever.
Certainly important. Can you style me up too?
On it. Just bring me a token first.
So, there's some customizing in the game in terms of the cosmetics, which is cool, but it's not like super extensive, You just get some items that kind of look like that, like, they'll have some sunglasses on, a little hat, or whatever. But the unique thing about it is those items, when you do equip them, there's a setting in the game, let me see if I can find it. Let me give her the token real quick.
Alright, let's see what you've got.
And this is just to get a hairstyle. And I thought you had to stay with this hairstyle forever, but apparently you can change it. I figured out how to do it, but it gets a little, a man bun or whatever. But if you want to change the setting, so that's what I was going to go into. So now he's got this new setting, right? This new hairstyle. So there is a setting. I don't know if it's in graphics. Or is it accessibility? I forget where it is, but there's basically a setting so that, like, as you're playing through the game, if you want to show the cosmetics, basically, it's not here. Where is it? But I remember seeing it somewhere, and I thought that was pretty cool. like, you know, you get a new cosmetic thing. If you want to see those cosmetics in like the cinematics and stuff, that's what it's for. It might be in the main like settings or when you first play the game or something. Yeah, I didn't even take a moment to show this. So this is just when you pause it. Pausing the game is hitting the touchpad on the PS5, but when you go to the settings, you know, here's your general settings. You can change it from English to Spanish on the text, and I think French, yeah, and Italian, you know, all the major languages that are in most games. But the audio you can only do in English or French. So I was kind of curious of what that might sound like. And then, you know, you can have it so that when different people are talking, you can have a color. Their text will have a different color. Gameplay, you know. Yeah, there it is. Character customization cutscenes. So basically, if you have like a silly costume that you got, you know, you can wear it and they'll be wearing it in the cinematic, basically. You can turn that on and off. Controller vibration, standard. Sprint input hold. I have it set to that already, so I left everything as default. I didn't really change much of anything. The graphics, you can do quality or performance. We'll take a look at performance, you know, and then there's these other things, you know. This will probably maybe like help with some of the frame rate stuff. They're just the additional effects, but I like the way it looks, so I'm gonna leave everything. But we'll at least try a little bit of performance. And as you can see, it's in a gorgeous 60 frames. And, you know, for the most part, all the textures look the same, you know. I have yet to play this game in 60 frame mode. You know, I think the problem is that, like, you know, you'll get to these areas with, like, lighting, and it'll just kind of come off looking kind of gross. You know, it's like you get the quick speed, but it doesn't look as great as it could. You know, the hair and all that stuff is like very detailed. Matter of fact, let me switch his hair back. I don't like the man bun. After I figured out how to like change the wardrobe stuff, I immediately, there we go. That's what he should look like right there. Boom. But I mean, the frame rate looks amazing, right? There we go. See, his hair looks much better, but it's still kind of weird looking. So that's what made me keep it on performance and just, you know, get used to it being in 30 frames per second. So just applied that. Because, I mean, you know, yeah, so there you go. Much better. You know, just the lighting looks a little bit better. I don't know. I'm sure it looks like a million times better on PC, but we don't have this on PC now. From my understanding, I think this game is actually on Xbox or Microsoft Game Pass, and if that's the case, then I want to try this out on a PC just to see what it looks like.
Hello there, Gustave.
Colette, you've been holding out on us.
Relics from before the fracture, passed down through the generations. The council deemed them trinkets, but I think otherwise.
A quick time check. Okay, we got about like 30. Well, if I do 33, I might just do that. I might do 3 hours and 33 minutes on each session, so we got some time.
That's kind of you to share.
Because I haven't even made it to like the main part of the game yet.
I may not be able to join the expedition, but I'd still like to help. 1 token is all I ask.
Ah. Yes, I'm curious.
Take good care of it. Godspeed.
Okay, so I have this old key, and I don't know what it's used for. So hopefully it's for something cool. Later down the road. Oh yeah, let's go meet the sister. I think we've talked to everybody, so we can go ahead and talk to the sister.
The chief counselor honors us with her presence. What? Still mad I'm going?
This is the definition of a fool's quest. My brother's not usually a fool.
I've heard you say otherwise.
Now what I plan to do is, I think I've gotten everything so far. What I might do is play up to the point where I'm at on one of my game saves, and then once I'm there, I'm going to continue from my previous game.
You and I both know the
I
political
don't know, we'll see.
complexities that
It just depends on
necessitate
if
the
I find
expedition.
different things on
It's
this
vital for
playthrough.
morale.
You should put that in your speech. Very motivating.
There are so many things you can contribute to here in Lumiere that'll have a real impact.
Em, you're doing great work, really. Getting things ready for the last generation. You've got it well in hand here. Let me do my part, out there, and win us a chance to live.
We're never going to see each other again.
You're so busy anyway. I barely see you.
Just take care of Maelle, okay? Can't believe you're letting her go with you.
Me? You're her guardian too. You stop her.
We're her guardians, not her jailers.
See, like, Maelle doesn't like staying on Lumiere.
She really wants off
And
this island.
Gustave here is a little opposed to her going out to the expedition because it's not, she has so much time left.
Don't you have a speech to give?
You mean the one you so kindly wrote for me?
Just suggestions. I thought it might help you understand.
I do understand. I just... Anyway. Yeah, time for my speech.
Alright. So, yeah, that's why I was kind of hanging back a little bit, because I didn't want to trigger the next cinematic so early. I wanted to make sure I completed everything here. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the next part. Eiffel Tower candles.
Expeditioners. The Sword of Lumiere. We honor your dedication. We do not take for granted that you dedicate your final year of life to keeping hope alive for all of Lumiere. Some of you are leaving to change the world. Others to discover the secrets of our universe. Some to protect loved ones. Others to find meaning in our all too short lives. As you sail into the unknown, know that Lumiere stands with you. When you battle the Paintress, know that Lumiere fights with you. Let the stones of her monolith crumble. Let her body lie at the end of the world. Unable to paint another death, let the stars no longer be hidden by her oppressive silhouette.
And when that music kicks in, you know it's on.
Again, watch the sun rise without the shadow of her cursed figure. May the wind of renewal take you to the ends of the earth.
There goes his Gustave's Apprentices.
Tomorrow comes. Thanks to you. Expedition 33.
All that was just, what I just played through was the intro to the game. Okay, so this is sort of like, the island where the Paintress is and the Monolith. Alright, so this guy here, this is the character that is played by Andy Serkis.
Get ready. You're old. How did you survive the Gommage?
I wonder if he's
Which expedition are you from?
That's the general. All these characters were the people that I interacted with at the festival.
Fall back!
Oh my god.
Stop! Come on, we need to go!
Okay, Lucia.
He's not following. Putain! What the fuck? Who the fuck was that?
Merde! What do we do now?
Regroup at the rally point. The Indigo Tree.
Oh, that was the guy asking about the Luma Converter. What the hell?
Come on! Move! Fucking snap out!
So that thing that we just saw, that's I think one of the Nevrons. Like I said, they all come in different shapes and sizes and they're all freaking weird looking. Wow. Here goes Act 1. Man, they get some like bloody faces in this game. Alright, and now we are in our world here. And look at this guy's face. And it's got that sort of like Elden Ring kind of grand. And of course this world is not nearly as large as Elden Ring in terms of exploration and stuff. But look at the reflections in the water. That's pretty good. Okay, here. So at this point, this is kind of like the full, like, if I can get the camera to show them. Yeah. So, yeah, what I was going to say is that this is now the official, like, menu. You can, you know, go through, and it's still going to take you through tutorial stuff. So I'm going to just try to whiz through some of this area, because I am going to try to, you know, still got a little time left. Hopefully I'll get to, like, a couple fights and, you know, just kind of show you guys what the combat looks like when you're actually fighting enemies and not just like the tutorial stuff. You do gotta think on your feet, man, like this thing. Okay, so Chroma Elixir, so that's basically potions. The way they do this, it works just like, I think Elden Ring works like this. You know, that's the thing I noticed. It kind of borrows from different types of role-playing games, and they seem familiar, but the engine is, or the combat system and everything, it's kind of its own thing, you know. The way it's designed and the way you have to do the quick time events and stuff. But what I was going to say is that when you're playing in Elden Ring, if you go to one of those little resting spots, I forgot what they're called, you replenish, you know, like certain things, although you've got to buy potions and magic and, you know, whatever else in that game. But on this game, you get these little elixir things, and it's just what heals you. So when you're all bloody like that, that just means that you're like, you know, your health is like real low. And then once you clean yourself up, you know, you'll be all nice and clean. But if you take damage, you know, the faces and everything get all dirty. So I think we're gonna find our first enemy encounter here. And the enemies are free roaming out here. So like when you're in a world and you happen to see the enemies and you go near them, you'll trigger the fight. But you can also prematurely start the fight or start it early so that you get a first strike. And you generally want to do that. So as you're playing, you can jump. You can aim eventually and shoot the gun to shoot things, but you can also run up on something and just hit attack, and that's how you trigger the first attack. So like, yeah, we go to our first enemy encounter. Okay, one thing that you want to take note of is that enemies can have weak spots. So now they're introducing free aim, so this is when you get to use your gun. The gun doesn't run out of attacks. Well, it does run out of attacks. It runs out of attack points, but in the open world, you can just shoot the gun a bunch of different times, you know. Anyways, in combat itself, you want to use it to find the enemy's weak points. Once you're able to find that weak point, you just shoot it, and it'll let you know like what kind of status they're in. If like you've got a weapon that can burn them and catch them on fire, or freeze them, or poison them if there's a poison type of, you know, thing in this game. You want to start with using the gun to trigger those weaknesses. So it takes one attack point or AP to shoot the gun. So I've got a total of 4. Now if you notice, there's different things here, but you can see the obvious. His face has got that little weird thing, so if you shoot that, you know, you shoot their weak point, and at that point they take a lot of damage when, you know, you shoot them in the weak point. So I can continue to shoot this enemy, but then I can decide to go to one of my special attacks, which I don't have right now. So I'm just going to keep attacking until I can I can do my final attack here. Now he's going to attack me. I'm going to play it. Okay. Yeah. You know, you get no damage, 20% bonus. And then it kind of tells you the stuff that you earned. And how long it took you to do it and all that stuff. Okay. Man, those things look like so creepy. But that's our first Nevron. Okay, moving on. We're just gonna get through this here. Okay, so now that you see the grapple, we use that. Grapple across. And that's like that technology, you know, he's the Luma Converter, this, you know, is what helps him do his attacks and navigating around, traversing areas with that, like grappler. So that's a fallen Nevron. That's right. Big one. I mean, is it me, or does this guy not look like... Does he not look like Cedric Diggory from Harry Potter in this outfit? I'm just waiting to, like, call out the broom. Okay, so then you got these little things you can climb up on. Now, I know I've gotten a lot of stuff here. Oh man, this is... Look at this. Look at all these expeditioners, man. Yeah, even Gustave can't even say anything. It just looks like Vlad the Impaler went to town out here. This is crazy. Okay, what's going on here, though? This guy apparently... his arrow missed. But not this guy. I think this guy got it the worst. Look at that. I mean... talk about getting impaled. Like, look at that. That's crazy. That's just like body after body. I wonder why they're like all pale like that, you know? Almost look like they got turned to stone or something, I don't know. These effects are crazy. Oh. Why is it red now? Look at the lighting. Okay, we're at the next part. Man, this poor guy, like his whole entire squad just got like decimated in like 2 seconds. By some Nevrons and a Golem. Well, not really Golem, but you know, the guy that plays Golem. Oh, that's one of the girls. That's the girl that I think she was one of the, you know, the drinking buddies.
You do that, we both die.
See, I think that's where they get people kind of make the comparison with Persona. Because, you know, in Persona 3, I think it is, you get the Evoker.
Wake up,
is that
Gustave.
spiritual gun. You have to shoot the persona out of you.
Lune. The others.
I know. We're the only ones left. You don't get to die.
It's just a matter of time before we're already dead. Look around, look.
This is not a foregone conclusion. When one falls, we continue. Get up. We need to find a safer place. There are Nevrons around.
Lucien.
This is not the place. The Luma Converter seems intact. It's about time we test it in real conditions.
Putain.
something they say. And just like screw. Alright, so this is our real first fight, so we're going to try to... and this also becomes a tutorial for Lune and how to use her. She's got her attacks and things a little different. Right off the bat, he's got like half of energy. So I could do a skill, so let's do the Lumiere Assault. Okay. So everybody can do elemental attacks, and this is where Lune becomes a little unique. So she gets this little weapon that floats in the air. It's if you look on the right where it says stains, it sort of fills in the colors to those elements that you're going to be, attacking with. Basically, this is like her version of Overcharge. It's just called something different, but it serves the same kind of purpose. It just gives her a little bit more damage. But the unique thing is that she can use elemental type of damages, and the stains will help inflict like a higher damage, ratio for that element. So, let's see. It says her skills also consume specific stains to enhance their effects. So. Let's see, light stains can be consumed in place of any other stain. Cycle between the different elements to get the most out of her skills. So essentially she's got, earth, fire, water, or not water, but earth, ice, fire, and I forget the other one, light, light. I don't think they have like wind in here, so. But they just want us to review her ice lance attack, so I'm going to select that. This character, let's see. For the ice lance, does medium single target ice damage that slows the target. So if you, I don't know if it's every time, or if it's like a percentage, or it's based on like how strong you have this attack, but select it. The big one because we did a perfect hit. The Portier is weak to ice and took over 50% damage from the ice lance. Most enemies will have elemental affinities, so weakness takes 50% more damage. Resistance takes 50% less damage. So those, if they're in these status effects, that's what happens basically. Okay, now that he's slow, it fluctuates. And one light stain. Light elemental stains are common. Immolation. This is probably like one of the best attacks actually. Fire. Okay.
Feel the burn.
Burn, so that means the character or the enemy is in burn status. But what happens is if you do like, they get damage over time, so, or a dot as the RPG gamers would say. You use certain attacks that will, put that status effect on for a duration of time, and it automatically inflicts damage over time.
did it, Gustave. Let's see if your invention lives up to its reputation, shall we? It really works. We're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Come on. There might be other survivors at the indigo tree.
I think I'm gonna cut it at 3 minutes here, because I don't think... Okay, so Pictos. So this is what I was talking about. These are those little things that you can equip. Like, it helps on your stats, but it also gives you these little bonuses. So like Dodger, for instance, if I dodge any attack, or on a perfect dodge, you get you gain attack points, a single attack point. So if you have to dodge multiple times, you know, you can kind of get that back. But in addition to that, it gives you status updates to your stats. Like, see, it'll add 12 speed and add 3% to his critical, you know, attack. Or if you happen to get a critical attack. And then when you're ready to equip it, you just go here and right here, Pictos. And then you just, you know, select it, and then you gotta put it in a slot. You can only have like 3 at a time, it looks like. So, you know, you want to be like pretty sure like which ones you want to use in the slot. And then like if I have any Luminas, I could add to Dodger, you know, but I don't have any of the Luminas right now, so. And when you add points to the Pictos, it increases the level and stuff like that. And then, oh, I don't have anything for her just yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here because I don't remember another boss fight or anything coming up just yet. You know, it's going to be a little more explorating, I can't even talk right now, exploration. Well, that'll do it for this part for the Expedition 33. Thank you for joining me if you stuck through the whole 3 hours. Please make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel because we're going to do more of these videos. So this is just my first time doing something like this with a game like this. So I hope that, you know, it's something that is appealing to people out there. And I can't wait to do the next one. So we'll do 3 hours at a time, or 3 hours and 33 minutes. Just depends on the situation and what's going on in the game. I would love to play for about, you know, 30 more minutes, but it's getting a little late, and I want to try to keep in with the theme of, you know, Expedition 33. So, but yeah, I think on the next video I'll probably go ahead and just do 3 hours and 33 minutes, and then we'll talk about what we saw and kind of, you know, maybe have an open discussion on what we're seeing so far in the game, and I'll just progressively let you know my thoughts, what I think about this game. Well, that does it for now. Stay tuned for the next video. I don't know what days I'll post these, but they'll definitely be, you know, pretty short window of time between each other. All right. So, yeah, if you just joined us, we were playing through the beginning of Expedition 33, and this is going to be my gameplay / review of this. It's not a walkthrough. It's not, you know, how to be the best, you know, or how to set up the best strategy with the characters and all that. It's just simply me playing the game and giving you the same experience that I'm going through playing the game. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good night, and peace.